If you're a fitness coach, you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table and without even knowing it. And today, I'm going to open your eyes to all the additional 10 or 20 fitness clients that you could be getting into your high ticket coaching program every single month by just doing something a little bit different, by noticing one of the key flaws in your online coaching funnel that is restricting people from enrolling in your program, from getting all your great advice and getting the results that you can get for them. So before I jump in, if it's the first time joining one of my lives, I'm Brian Czekanski, and I help fitness coaches in particular turn their low ticket and webinar attendees into high ticket buyers using my phoneless sales process. So how do I know that you're leaving money on the table and that your online coaching funnel is flawed? Well, one of the things that I do is kind of study coaching funnels on a daily basis. And one of the things that I noticed, one of the key leaders in the industry, Vince Del Monte, kind of has a standard format that he teaches his students, that he uses himself. And there's just one thing that I'll point out in just a second that prevents him from maximizing the number of students in his memberships, but also is preventing a lot of the people that he coaches to not maximize their income, maximize their profits, and maximize the amount of people that are coming through. And I'll explain why in just a second. But the good thing is that there's an easy way to kind of correct this, to do provide a little bit more comprehensive strategy to use a funnel that really encapsulates as many people as possible and speaks to the different sales channels that people appreciate and gets more people to enroll in your process. Again, when it comes down to it, just providing this one simple thing and adding it to your funnel that you're using right now could be the difference between having 10 or 20 additional clients into your high ticket coaching program every single month on autopilot. So again, it can be a significant source of not only profits, but also new people into your program. And I'm talking high ticket programs up to 10K and above. That's really what I focus on and what I can see enrolling in this as we go through. So let me just share my screen, kind of share a little bit more about what I'm talking about, and it'll make a little bit more sense. So again, this is Vince's page. This is Seven Figure Mastermind. But again, as you go through and and as you take a look at his programs and what he teaches people, obviously has a great program, a large variety of different students that have had amazing success, 6, 7, and some cases 8-figure online fitness coaching businesses. So he knows what he's talking about, using his own story to allow people to grow their businesses, especially in specific niches. But again, there's one specific thing that I've noticed in terms of breaking down his funnels and looking at students that I'll show you in just some of his students as I go through in just a second. They all kind of follow the same strategy. All of them kind of follow the same setup. Again, they use it because it works, but again, there's one specific flaw as we think about it right here. So again, most of them come to a page, whether it's using Facebook ads or other channels, come to a page where there's some kind of VSL, there's some kind of either short or a little bit longer VSL type of thing, could be up to 10 minutes. I'll show you another example in just a second. And then it's going to ask you to fill out some kind of application and then go to a call where, again, presumably you jump on a call with one of the sales team members. They go through it, get to know the outcomes that you're looking for, a little bit more about your background, and then obviously try to enroll you in the right program as you see it fit. The problem is for a lot of your end fitness clients that you have right now is, again, it works because it's kind of presenting an air of exclusivity, kind of putting the onus on people to fill out an application, do all those kind of things. But the thing is, a lot of your fitness clients don't like that approach. They don't love jumping on a sales call. They don't love having to fill out a huge, long application. So you're missing out on those people that just don't enjoy going through that process. Maybe they don't even enjoy watching a VSL. So again, the key point is, and this kind of comes about with a lot of clients I work with where they do have existing sales teams, is you're leaving a lot of those profits and additional clients that you could have in your program and giving up on them unnecessarily. So all those people that don't feel like filling out this big, long application, all those people that don't want to watch a 10 or 15 or 40-minute VSL to get to know what your program's all about or what the opportunity is. All those people that don't love jumping on a sales call, and there's a lot of them. There's more than you think. You're missing out on those type of clients coming through your program. And again, my program, my process, my phoneless sales process is all about all those other people that just don't love going through that type of process. Again, there's nothing wrong with it, but you should have something additionally. You should have on the back end all those people that jump on a sales call and either say no or aren't ready to sign up right away, or those people that don't love signing up, watching a VSL, or don't love watching a application, or maybe again use the example of a webinar where people just get busy and something happens in their life maybe 30 minutes through, and the thought of having to watch that webinar again the next day from the very beginning is just something that they can't handle. So you've kind of lost them as a potential client just because, again, maybe their kid was running around and they got distracted, or the phone rang, or whatever those things are, and they couldn't hit pause. Now they've got to start over from the beginning and go through your whole sales process again. They don't want to do that. Again, that's a lost sale for you and a lost opportunity. So that's really what I'm focused on, again, in terms of my phoneless sales process. So again, the typical process for this, and I'll show you another one on the next page. Again, I'm not absolutely certain, but I would assume, again, John Matson is the fitness coach here, kind of following the same setup. So again, kind of has this opportunity at the top. It's got this short VSL type of video, and then asking you to apply, fill out that application, go to that sales call, where presumably you jump on a call with one of his sales team members. So again, as I go across the fitness space, like, this is the standard process. It obviously works, but I know from working with other fitness coaches, health coaches, that you're just leaving a lot of money on the table in terms of just, again, following up with them via either email or chat or SMS through my process and going through that. So let's talk through, like, okay, if somebody doesn't fill out an application, if somebody doesn't want to watch that VSL or go through that whole webinar again, how can you actually interact with them? How can you have a conversation with them to do the same things? So, like, again, in a sales process, all we're trying to do is present a new opportunity to get them to raise their hand and then engage in a conversation to figure out, like, okay, like, as you get to know my program, my new strategy from a fitness perspective, presenting that offer in a way, again, I present that via a series of different email conversations. So it's not you're jumping on a sales call and at the end of that 30 minutes or 20 minutes is a yes or no. Like, some of these conversations can go on for days and weeks as we get in depth about what that person is going through, especially from a fitness perspective. A lot of people have had long histories of going through diet plans and exercise plans that didn't work. So really getting a sense of, like, what has their history been? What are those outcomes they're looking for? What are those emotional issues? Like, they're not only trying to improve their health, but, like, what are those other ancillary things? What are those emotional things that they're really trying to do? It could be just something as simple as, okay, I just want to be able to move with my grandkids a little bit, a little bit more, a little bit less pain-free. All those kind of things are really important to me. So again, once I've got an idea, in the same way that you'd use it on a sales call, get an idea of, like, what is their backstory, what is the outcomes they're looking for, and what's the reason why some of those things. And only then can you really present your offer. In the same way that we're doing that for a VSL, we can do that through a series of different emails. Do it very human, really do it at a scalable level. So I can have some of these conversations. I can have 100 of these conversations in an hour. You obviously can't have 100 sales calls in a day. So it's a very much scalable process where you can do it over, there's no time pressure here, and it's much more conducive to some of your clients as well. Like, again, you're going to have a certain portion of your prospects, especially with Facebook ads, where they just don't love sitting there through a whole VSL or a webinar or any of those things. So it's a way to kind of reach a portion of your audience that's just not conducive to the sales style that you might have, getting to know their outcomes a little bit more. Again, it's a more scalable process. You don't need a huge sales team or, booking appointment times and figuring out, like, okay, what's a suitable, time and place or to jump on a Zoom call and have those conversations. It's none of that. It's, okay, let's have a conversation either via email or chat or SMS. We can do it at our own pace. There's no urgency here. We're just trying to get to know each other. That allows me to kind of devote my time and energy in terms of those prospects and leads that seem to have the highest priority for getting into that specific program, getting to know them a little bit better. And again, at the end of the day, I can answer some of those questions, objections that they might not have been able to get to on a sales call, which again has kind of that ticking time clock of, okay, at the end of the 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I have to get to a yes or no for you because I've got another appointment on my schedule right away. So it kind of eliminates that time pressure, allows me to kind of get to know them. What's the pertinent parts of their story. For some of them, it's an easy sale. They're ready to sign up right away. But there's obviously other parts of your market that, okay, there is some objections. There's something more specific that they need to be addressed before they're ready to jump in. And the great part is you're going to have certain leads that, okay, maybe right now the priority isn't there for them to sign up. But in having these conversations, I'll have a good idea of, okay, in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, whatever it is, I can follow up with them and do that in this process. So again, in talking through Vince Del Monte's funnel strategy and a lot of his students in terms of what they're what they're using, again, that VSL, that application, getting to that sales call, it obviously works, but it's leaving money on the table in terms of those people that just don't enjoy going through that sales process. Again, like for a lot of fitness coaches, what I've seen is it can be 10 or 20 different uh, um, clients that are leaving on the table every single month because they've kind of fallen through the cracks. You've kind of given up on these leads and maybe low ticket buyers, maybe challenge buyers that you've had because again, they didn't follow that same exact process. They kind of got lost somewhere in the way. So this is a little bit more proactive approach to get in front of them and get to know them a little bit better, classify where they are in terms of the awareness spectrum, in terms of where this sits from a priority perspective, get to know those questions and objections and address them without having the time pressure of, okay, I've only got 20, 30 minutes for the sales call. You've got to make a yes or no decision at the end of this. So again, for a lot of people, that doesn't work for them. We want to create a different process where we can kind of sweep up some of those lost sales, those lost profits that you are having as part of this standard funnel. So think about, especially if you're a fitness coach right now, you're following the same model. You probably are right now. How can we kind of bolt on a different profit center in terms of sweeping up some of those lost sales, lost leads that you're paying for at the end of the day? You're paying them to Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is. So you might as well take the additional effort to get in conversations with these people, see if there's a question, objection. Again, maybe they just didn't have the chance to watch your full VSL or webinar or things like that. By engaging them in a conversation via email or SMS or via chat, we can get to know them, get to know what's behind some of the outcomes that they're looking for, and position your offer in the right way that kind of speaks their language. And again, more personally answers any questions, objections that they might have along the way. And we can obviously use those assets to further improve your VSL, any of your front end that you're using right now in terms of using that. So again, if this was helpful, hit that like button on whatever your platform you are watching on right now. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Also sharing some of the insights that I am using in terms of my phoneless sales process in the fitness industry, but also in the broader health and wellness space. And with that, drop me a comment in terms of what you saw here. Would love to hear from you. And with that, I'll see you on a future live.